Welcome to the T-Bird Zone. You can see us on SUTbirds.com, SUUnews.com, and YouTube.com. Today we're in studio with newly appointed men's basketball head coach Nick Robinson. And Coach, welcome to SUU.
Thank you. I appreciate the welcome. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Let's talk a little bit about your history so people can kind of get a background of where you're from. Most recently, you were an assistant coach at Louisiana State in the SEC, but also had stops at Stanford as a player and as a coach. Talk about those experiences a little bit and how that has shaped you as a coach.
Sure. Most recently, I was at LSU under Coach Trent Johnson, and was fortunate to be in 3 different roles for him. Most recently as an assistant coach, where I had an opportunity to recruit, go through skill development, as well as be, on the floor and help with game management and practice management as well. So prior to that, I was the operations director and got an opportunity to work with our managers, our student assistants, helped with academics, helped with the administration, as well as our fundraising. And so, really enjoyed, that experience as well. And prior to that, I was his executive assistant, which, dealt with a lot of our community service events, as well as a lot of his interviews and that type of thing that he had to deal with as a head coach. In addition, with all of those roles, I was fortunate to be involved with the basketball camps during the summer. So prior to those 3 years, I was at William Jewell College for a year under Larry Holly. And then, as you mentioned, I was at Stanford under Trent Johnson as well. Was fortunate to be a part of a couple of NCAA tournament teams, a Sweet 16 team that featured Landry Fields and Brooke and Robin Lopez. So been real fortunate to be around Coach Johnson for as long as I have. Also played for him my senior year at Stanford, which was 04-05. And prior to that, played for Coach Mike Montgomery at Stanford from 2000. I redshirted, but from 2001 to 2004. So.
And that's a great, history of coming in, having coached in the SEC and playing and coached there in the Pac-12. You mentioned you were around Coach Johnson for most of your career. What did you take away from his coaching philosophy, and what have you, applied from him into your coaching stance?
From Coach Johnson, I've really, applied, the importance of preparation. Being prepared for every situation, not just on the basketball court, but in the community, in everything that the program is involved in. We want to make sure that all those that have been a part of the program in the past, coaching staffs, managers, as well as players, feel that they can be a part of the program moving forward. Coach Johnson as well, is a man of character, integrity, a man with, has been great for me, as a person, and a big role model. On the court, in terms of practice, in terms of games, he's probably one of the most competitive people that, I've been around. Extremely intense, but demands the best out of each individual, whether it's a member of his staff or his players, not just on the basketball court, but in life in general. So, I've been real fortunate, obviously, to be around Coach Johnson, as well as a number of other coaches, that I've been associated with and had an opportunity to play for and work for.
So in addition to that preparation, what are your own personal philosophies that you'll bring to the court?
Once again, on the court, I'd like to start defensively first. That has been, a part of, championship programs that I've been a part of, whether that's under Coach Larry Holly or Coach Mike Montgomery, or even my high school coach, Coach Mark Nussbaum. Defense, is going to be key. So, for us, man-to-man, tough, hard-nosed defense is going to be where our base is. We'll throw some zone in there, we'll throw in some pressure, but we want to make sure we're the best that we can be as a team, as well as individually on the defensive end of the floor. And that will translate into our offense. Our opportunities to be able to get out and run, made or missed, get the best shot available, whether that's from our perimeters or our posts. And I've been fortunate to, be around some great head coaches that have, a number of set plays that we'll be able to tailor to our personnel to make sure that they're as successful as possible within their roles.
Given the defensive philosophy will kind of ebb and flow as the game goes along. You mentioned man-to-man. Is that really just a specific half-court set, or is it going to be a full-court man-to-man type, high pressure all the time? how's that going to work out?
You know, some of that will be based on our personnel. Sure, I'd like to be able to extend full court, you know, a majority of the time, but it may be three-quarter court where our point guard is picking up at the opposite free throw line, you know, and putting a little pressure on their point guard. We may, you know, deny the wings a little bit, you know, force them one way or the other. You know, but that will also have adjustments where, you know, if need be, you know, I have to trap a guy. You know, whether that's a post guy or even a perimeter guy. So there'll be some different things that we'll do in order to prepare for our opponents. But for the most part, we want to be solid defensively, man-to-man. You know, and those principles apply to our zone as well as to our pressure.
Offensively, Southern Utah really hasn't flourished behind the three-point line the last few years. What's your stance when it comes to perimeter shooting as opposed to just banging it inside?
Sure. Right now, you know, obviously I want good percentages from the three-point line. So in our individual workouts right now, we've been working, you know, in shooting the basketball from the three-point line, guys that are capable of doing that. You know, if it's a good shot, I want you to take it. And, you know, I think that we'll be able to improve in that, you know, pretty quickly as guys get confidence through the spring and through the summer. But in addition, you know, recruiting-wise, you know, it's going to be important for us to, you know, find players, you know, some of the best and the brightest that want to be able to come in and shoot the basketball as well.
Right.
So.
Well, and it's ironic we're talking about shooting and a shot because perhaps you're best known for the shot as it's been labeled, playing at Stanford, getting a steal and just hitting this ridiculous, three-quarter, no, just
about
past
30,
half court?
Yeah, 30, 35-footer, yeah.
Yeah, was that, and that's something you can check out on YouTube. Be sure to, you know, search Nick Robinson Stanford, the shot on YouTube. It's all over. Was that, as a player, your defining moment in your career, or is there another game that you look back on and think, you know, that was the highlight of the career?
You know, in terms of my Stanford career, that was a very special moment. You know, obviously, like you mentioned, you know, very well recognized, you know, from the coaching staff to my teammates. We were all a part of the process of getting to that point. And, you know, I just happened to be in a position to, you know, be able to make a play. And, you know, once again, I'm still glad that it went in, you know,
right.
You know, even today. You know, I've tried that shot, you know, since that point in time, and, you know, it's never gone in since. So, you know, but there were plays that led up to that play. You know, the previous play, Josh Childress actually made a three-pointer in the corner in order to tie the basketball game. And it came on 3 left-handed passes from Matt Loddick to myself to Chris Hernandez, who then took 2 dribbles and hit him in the corner for the 3. You know, Matt, the previous play, had made a huge defensive stop in order to be able to make that play happen. You know, and obviously Coach Montgomery had, you know, got us to that position in terms of defensive calls and offensive calls. So, yes, that was an outstanding moment in my career, one that you know, I'll always remember. You know, our teammates and will always be you know, grateful for the opportunity we had to participate in that moment. But you know, I was fortunate, obviously, to be a part of you know, some other outstanding basketball games. You know, I also look back on my playing career and look to you know, the high school state championship that I was fortunate to be a part of. You know, our team, we went 31-0 out of Liberty, Missouri, and you know, great teammates. You know, fantastic coach and Coach Nussbaum, and you know, so that was you know, a moment you know, that I'll always look back on and be able to draw from. You know, and that really inspired me as well as I went through my college career. You know, and now even into coaching. Excellent.
Well, we'll look forward to many more shots from Southern Utah players as the season starts here, October coming up. And look forward to having you on the T-Bird Zone much more in the future as this season progresses. So again, thanks for coming in, and thanks for joining us here in the T-Bird Zone, and we'll see you again next time.